Yes, and I like it like this. We have to get accustomed to knowing that we are live. We do apologize for any statements that might have been made that you might have overheard that we did not intend for you to hear, especially those of a very bad comment. Personal comment anyhow. Talking about football, you know what happens when you get down to football. Especially when you have fake Argentinian representatives. You know, they're following the guy called Messi, who made a mess of the penalty. Messi made a mess of the penalty and caused Argentina to cry for the win. Yeah, where is it? Kevin?
I'm not supporting Argentina, so.
My team is Switzerland, as I told them. I am going with the team that has the money because I think that's a team that's going to, you know, make them cry. 11, that time check comes with the kind of courtesy of super quality. Good morning, Philip.
Good morning, Robert. Good morning, Kevin, Michael.
Bandwagon is
I'll answer that in 1 minute. Good morning, Kevin, Michael, Paul, the Fritters.
Michael Paul.
What does the MP stand for again?
Marcus and Peter. Marcus Peter.
I got the MP. Good morning to all the loyal listeners.
He's not a member of parliament. Just remember
Good morning to all the loyal followers of 104.7 and those following me on social media. Robert Amar, last World Cup, I made a bet that if Argentina lose, I will take a profile picture of me wearing a wig and a dress.
Did you?
Yeah, you did. I remember that.
Right after the finals, coming down to the last second, to the death, Argentina had a chance. And when that final whistle blew and they lost, people take like 15 seconds talking about, oh, boo-hoo, we lost. And then the whole of social media switched to me and my bet. And I had to go by my neighbor and Michelle Benjamin and borrow a dress and a wig and put up a profile picture. The PNM went, but the UNC too, they keep it because every time they want to scandalize me, they put up a picture of me taking a picture of me in a dress. But I am a man of my word. And I want to show you something. I supported Argentina forever. But right now, you see what's going on? I'm giving them a second chance today because I want to see the team play like a team. If they're not playing like a team, I want to back a team. And the team that has impressed me, albeit only one game, is Mexico. I loved how they played that game. And the fact that they hold down the Germans, because the Germans...
I don't understand you, know.
The Germans have hurt Argentina. And because of the Germans, I had to take a picture of me wearing a dress. So I'm glad that Mexico beat them. And I hope they don't go no further.
At the end of it here, all this talk. The number one team
you want
going
to take a bet?
The World Cup.
We betting, you know.
I'm not going on no dress, no high heel shoes.
What happened?
I'm not going
and you had escalated that I include fishnet stockings now?
I am not doing that. You could go ahead and
Mr. Amar.
You understand?
We have serious issues to discuss.
Let's discuss the serious issue first.
When you're ready to make
number one team going into the World Cup is Brazil.
Oh, give me a break.
That is the number one team.
Neymar is the most overrated footballer in the history of football. The only Brazilian better at diving than him was a fella by the name of Rivaldo. Oh. They have a video of Rivaldo. I'm not lying. You could go and check this. There's a video of Rivaldo. A man standing close to him, about a foot from him, and he realized the man there. And he jump up in the air and fall on the ground. Like a spirit lash hit him. The man get a card. There's
a video circulating in our school where this young man is walking and he falling all the time.
Sure.
And he's saying there's Neymar.
No, but
on a serious note, I just got word that on the social media networking right now, there's some video material going around for students at the UWI having sex in the classroom.
Brother man,
I mean,
if you wanna come in the conversation there.
No, but that's a good place to start.
If you wanna come in the conversation
there's 40,000 Robert, we have, you know.
Robert, I wanna tell you this. That the delinquency of the minors in our education system rests at the feet of the Minister of Education. He is missing in action the greatest failure, and we've had some notorious failures in government. But what people need to understand is, when you drop your child to school, you actually enter into a contractual arrangement with the Ministry of Education, and that for the duration of the school hours, your liability and custody of the child has actually been transferred to the ministry, you know.
No, I hear you.
They are responsible for the security and the well-being of that child.
I hear you.
And they've been absent from their responsibility and negligent. You know, we've said it on this radio, we've called on the minister to put security measures in place in a country that has gang members and 30,000 illegal guns, according to the Prime Minister, in a country notorious for copycatting. What my fear is that some young boy that get horn, or a girl will take him on, or a teacher disrespect him, and he go man, he get a gun, and he come back, and he shoot people in the school. Trinidad is going to reel from that. But I understand how shock doctrine works, eh? And there are people who own security companies, and the only purpose for having set up that security company is to get government contracts, because government contracts for security companies are very lucrative contracts.
SCBL is what it's called.
I just talking about the contract to provide security guards to government institutions. That's one of the most lucrative ongoing paydays that you could get. If you get that, link up, that's a retirement plan. That's better than a lotto.
It's like the ambulance service.
It's like the ambulance service. It's like justice on time. It's like providing security guards in the hospital. They don't have to be actual real security guards. They just have to be there so you could collect your check at the end of the month. But they're waiting. You see, I think that somebody is going to benefit, because once one child or once one teacher gets shot in school, the people in Trinidad and Tobago and the media is going to fuel it, and there's going to be an uproar, an outrage, and they're going to say that they don't care what it costs, secure the schools. And then you find a security company get a $250 million contract to do what proactive governmental management of the system would have cost $25 million, if so much. We have MTS security. Why can't we expand MTS to sup up all of the idle labor that is knocking doors all over Trinidad?
Qualified labor anyhow for that particular job.
Put them to secure the schools. Your job's simple. Put a little tent at the gate, at the entrance, and you come in the school, empty your pockets. Robert, I have two matters. No, I want you to hear this. I have two matters in court with two PNM financiers. Yeah. And every time I go to the court, this is the Hall of Justice. The scanner that's supposed to scan everything that is coming in at you is out of service. These court matters have been going on for over a year now, and the scanner has been out of service for that long. This is the security entrance to the Hall of Justice.
Really
last week, one of the matters, the air condition system, not last week, 2 weeks ago, the air condition system in the Hall of Justice is down. Yesterday,
it's still down.
Another matter, the lawyer called me to say it's still down.
Still down.
The Hall of Justice.
You know,
the seat of justice in the country.
There was a big discussion I had when I was a member of the Senate. There was a bill being debated at the time, and when I rose to speak, I made the point that we're trying all these highfalutin things. We want to put a stone quarry in Tobago and all this kind of thing. But we don't even have the technical capacity to fix air conditioning.
No, I want to laugh with you.
I mentioned it this morning that the prison service, after they catch the guard who took the keys home, they changed the locks yet. It's 2 years later, and they changed the locks in the prison yet. They're still trying to figure it out.
Kevin, Newsday published an article that said a police officer giving somebody a drop lost his gun.
I'm talking about that just now.
Lost his gun.
Yeah, ridiculous.
What did you
should be fired immediately?
Robert, I'm not firing him. I want to investigate him. What did you stick him up with? What did you stick him up with? A pallet stick? What did you stick him up with to take his gun?
He said he hit a door.
How did you?
And he came out the car, leaving the gun inside the car. And when he came back, the man said he'll take a taxi from here. Then upon investigation, he realized the passenger took the gun. He wasn't stuck up. He just left the car.
Robert,
it sounds like a lie.
What's your middle name?
Ramdas.
Robert Ramdas Amar. I remember that. And Mervyn Peter.
Mervyn Peter now?
Wait a Michael, Mark. MP. Robert, seriously. What were the consequences to the police vehicle stranded on Cedros Beach?
What were the consequences?
What happened since?
I'm sure the guys get promoted.
Cedros Beach.
No, they get promoted. They're gone down.
You tell me.
You
see, people has asked me why I get vexed. John, you see, people has tell me I get too vexed on this show because is open the door. You're on the beach, notorious worldwide for how cocaine
For
and
illicit
cocaine
things.
dollars
Yeah.
and illegal guns and human trafficking enters and leaves Trinidad and Tobago, Cedros Beach.
Yeah.
You're on that beach in a police vehicle, one police vehicle, being driven by a man who clearly never drove a police vehicle or four-wheel drive vehicle on a beach before.
3 different police officers from 3 different stations in the same car. That is normal.
Abnormal.
Let's say this.
That is like
You
going,
took 12
That's like going to a doubles vendor and hoping to find a Veni, a Colombian, and a Portuguese.
No, but it's like the joke that a priest, a pundit, and an imam walk into a bar. It starts like that, but I want to ask you a question. You took 12 police vehicles and about 60 police to arrest an overweight former Attorney General. Remember that?
Yeah. I didn't know so much.
When they pull up outside Anand Ramlogan house,
But 12 cars?
there were about 12 vehicles, fully loaded. So I didn't know if they was expecting Anand to open fire.
Most likely.
They went there.
If Anand
for the
went-
Alba riot, yeah, they went to a
Kevin,
fight, you know.
if
A gun battle they were
Anand
hoping
had
for.
opened the door and started to run, they could have light a cigarette, smoke, eat the doubles, give him a head start. Anand can't walk fast, much less run. You ever see him? When last you see him?
I haven't seen him in a
My
while.
boy eat, he well eat.
He well eat.
All he neck fat. He looking like Ganga Singh. And I'm not Ganga Singh, Danraj Singh. But I'm not joking, and I'm serious. Because I want to make the point. Why would you need 12 vehicles to go and arrest Anand
A
Ramlogan?
former Attorney General.
And you send one police jeep to interrupt a drug transaction.
Oh, God. That's
We have
it.
no more information on the
But
drug
the bottom line is
transaction.
common sense and ideas.
Robert,
And the commissioner
They
acting
went
otherwise
to
has
pick up
done
their
nothing.
supplies.
Robert, the reason people have to laugh and joke is because they have a saying in Trinidad, I think they cry we laughing.
Yeah.
There is nobody you could turn to. Stephen Williams has to be
Kevin,
considered.
Kevin, do me a favor. Tell Music Chester put on the song for me. My song.
So,
Yeah, the Manning song. They
Stephen-
download it.
Stephen
Yeah.
Williams has to be considered now as having failed at his job.
Now?
Well, in one quick week here, we had those 3 stories. We have the police officer who loses his gun. We have
The vehicle on the
the
beach.
vehicle on the beach. And the 2 police officers who open fire on each other in Grand Bazaar
Yeah.
over a woman, ostensibly. That's what we've been
But
told.
you know, in the
But they
newspaper-
spin it, and we're forgetting one. We're forgetting one. It's 4, it's not 3. I thought you said seed. I didn't know it was weed. Remember that? Remember that? The corruption in the police service is so corrupt now. It is overflowing.
Videotape.
It's overflowing. It
Tell me
over.
going home and pick it up for him.
Man say about quarter pound way.
It's a song that acts it on the computer. Tessa Rich.
yeah.
Tell Tessa the song they download.
A quarter pound of weed, the man say, we'd have seed.
Yeah.
Robert, the corruption in the police service. Now, you have a professional standards bureau, a police complaints division,
Hold your thoughts.
and
You know
a
the
police
problem-
complaints association. You have 3 organizations responsible for keeping police honest, and we can't keep
But
police
hold
honest.
on, you know the one they call the Professional Standards Bureau. It's the same one as advocated. They shouldn't charge the man who shoot the next police officer.
On what grounds?
On the grounds that
Self-defense.
Is that it?
Self-defense, right?
I don't know if
Self-defense.
it's self-defense.
You see,
I
and-
didn't even really
you see, and I want to tell you this,
I'm so stupid because hold
Be-
your thoughts, Skip, Philip. They have no right in this party. The decision to charge that man still is left in the hands of the Director of Public Prosecutions. The Professional Standard Bureau making statements on that have no influence on that man. That man is supposed to be non-influence. He's supposed to be working in accordance to Constitution and law. Book.
Robert, you're living in a country where when we say everything is broken, we mean everything is
So
broken.
is this book only with white pages inside, no writing on it? And as we go along, they are writing what they want.
The people of Trinidad and Tobago have to understand that at some point it becomes impossible to turn the Titanic around. At some point, we are not going to be able to fix it. At some point, it's going to get too late. We're laughing and joking now, but at some point, it's going to be too late.
26 minutes after 11, that time check comes to the kind courtesy of Hearty Foods. And remember, at Hearty Foods, there's quite a number of specials you can get 5 big roast whole chickens for $100. 2 White Oak 1 liter for only $220. 5 Hyper Malt for only $20. 2 Great Foods hot dog sausage treat 80 grams for only $22. And you can get 3 Rainbow Tuna Flakes for only $18. And to add to that, if you're an alcohol person and you're looking for some alcohol, 2 Macarthur's 1 liter for only $250, or 2 Macarthur's 750 milliliters for only $180. I mean, it's like $90 a bottle, cheaper than Brown's. Magnum 32-inch smart TV for only $1,900, and Lasco fans 2 for $600. Finally, 3 packs of Cricks for only $35, or 5 packs of ramen soup for only $50. So go on down to Hearty Foods. Remember, no parking problems and great prices. Okay, so we are looking at the situation, Philip, with regards to the campaign and what's happening with the PP. Bring us up to date. I mean, I kind of...
This Saturday, coming here, 4 o'clock, we're going on Rock Barrel.
Yeah, Rock Barrel.
On the heels of the massive turnout in Belmont, you know the Newsday write an article that say we only had 20 people in Belmont.
Shame on them.
Robert, you was there. As one of the security men say, but Philip is 20 people to put up the stage all they had.
Yeah, true. I think what he did was a very good move in the sense of showing the PP's kind of...
I want to tell you something. We get calls that if we come Pigot's Corner, they come in and shoot Philip Alexander. People tell me that. We went Pigot's Corner. PNM had to know that all their nonsense. Robert, I wake up this morning, I explained to Trinidad and Tobago. Newsday newspaper is owned by a man who owns an insurance company that benefits from the public service insurance portfolio, among other things. The Guardian Media Group is owned by the Sabga family, who benefits from massive contracts from the government and has put their chief operating officer to sit on all of the energy boards. TV6 and Express became the property of the government in the Clico bailout acquisition, and the government owns CNMG. So there is nothing like free media at the top level. Come down one level, come down to journalists, and half the journalists literally in bed with the people that they're supposed to be covering for the people. You have the Express most important investigative journalist, Asha Javid, romantically linked to the Minister of Propaganda and PNM PRO, Stuart Young. Where is the free press that our Constitution calls for? The people have no access. We've had now 18 public meetings, including that launch in Belmont. We've had 54 Saturday meetings that the public are invited to meet and greet. We've led 2 protests. The media covered nothing. Not one. They are trying their best to minimize this party. But I gave them instructions. I gave the members of the party instructions yesterday. I want them to print out every single membership form, local and overseas. Going on Fazil's show, I find out it's 500 people in one of them photocopying thing, right? And we have 50,000 members. I go in with, how much? There's 100. I got 100 of them, and I stack it up on the thing between me and Fazil. I'm stand up and say, Fazil, you seeing me? You see it, members? You see, the narrative is to minimize the party and make people feel that make no sense voting for them still. But the people on the ground ignoring the media.
I think so. I really honestly believe that, when I went on your invitation to Belmont, I went there with, as I would say, an open mind.
And we in the party appreciated your presence there.
I kind of made a statement and it met with a lot of flack. Not with a lot of people, but with some individuals who...
When you endorse Felicia Holder, yeah. Robert, I want to tell you something. Right now, they're looking for a TV station to do it. And if no TV station do it, by the end of this week, our PRO, Janice Lemon Cricky, who I am sure is listening to the show, watching it live, I'm going to ask Janice to get in touch with you and invite all 3 Belmont candidates. Come here.
I think it's an open invitation.
Put it live on social media, live on radio, and moderate it. And you know how to moderate it? Let the public call in with questions that all 3 must answer. So you can't stack it.
No, I think it's a fair way.
Let the public...
I would say that I agree with you that we want to make the frequency available to all 3.
If we can't get it on TV, we'll do it here. If we get it on TV, we'll do a co-live broadcast on 104.7. But let them talk the talk. You see, What is hurting the PNM is that if you stop and put our candidate with their candidate, our candidate understands how local government works. Our candidate understands what Belmont is like. She grew up there.
Yeah,
our candidate has overcome obstacles in life that the average person, she doesn't consider it an obstacle. No. She wouldn't let you say that she has an obstacle. So every now and then she mentions it and we say, you know, it's true.
But you know, when I listen to her, because I've been around her for like a part of a year, I mean, I can only see, because I did have a candidate under our political party that we went up when there was local government election. I was testing the water with regards to even putting myself up. And I was very disappointed that the Woodbrook seat, I wasn't able to bring it home as an individual.
But I say this to you again. And I know of your, I know you're a long time now, and I want to tell you something. It is time for all the patriots and all the people who have sweat blood for this country to come together in a real political party, disconnected from the 1% or the finances or the racism. If Trinidad knew, and you know, and I don't want to say this, I'm calling it none here, but it's only after your life comes to an end, people will start to discuss what you've done for places like Morvan, Beetham, Labantel, and Silots. And I think you're doing a disservice to yourself, not letting people know how many people you have helped over the decades, how many lives you personally have changed. They have some stunt artists in that parliament that wouldn't spend 5 cents to see a ants dance, you know.
The biggest stunter boy is Rastafarian.
Oh, he's a joke. He's a joke of epic.
I
am going to speak like him now. I am going to use multisyllabular language so I can sound like Massa, because that's him. Fitzgerald Hines is a joke. No. Not one Rasta claims him. He's one of them paper Rasta. What does call him? Pomsiteras. That's what does call him? Pomsiteras. Not one Rasta. He ain't no real Jah Rastafari.
No, he's
watch me.
He have the dreadlocks look.
That is a wolf in sheep's clothing. Nobody fool you.
Well, we have 2 lions in the zoo that will willingly entertain.
Listen, man. Our reality, Robert, is there is nobody in the parliament, and I will tell you today, anybody who could contradict this conversation, if there is one person in the parliament that you think does a good job, let me know. Because I don't have that information. What I know is, for the past 30 years, we've been spending $1 billion a week. Nothing works.
I would tell you, though, I disagree with you with the parliament. I think the guy from Mayaro, the UNC guy from Mayaro, I forget his name now, it evades my thought. But he shows me to be a genuine kind of guy.
Robert, we're spending $1,000 million a week in the country.
He's not spending that.
I'm saying to you. Yeah. I'm saying to you, there's something. Vernon de Lima said, you are tied by cabinet responsibility. You are tied by opposition whip. You are tied. You cannot stand up for your people if it don't fit in. The member of parliament for Tobago, West and East, are selling their brothers and sisters in Tobago down the river. They should be the first ones standing against scandals. They should be the first one standing in defense of those people, those families. I have been going to Tobago since I'm a little boy, and if it's one thing, because we used to stay in Campbell's used to rent a house behind Tropicus. They had some little houses in the side there, and we used to go walking about, and all those people who had owned all those homes in Tobago for decades and generations, you're going to wipe them out to facilitate a scandals that you let us know. Even Barbados say.
Yeah, Barbados.
What does Barbados say? What does Barbados said about Sandals Hotel chain?
The man gets special preferential treatment, and it ain't really making sense.
Does it benefit to the redound of the economy or the people of Barbados? No, but it's important and it's critical because, Robert, we're taking up no man's land.
Yeah.
And by the time they finish with no man's land, even if we say, alright, Ole was right, You can't undo what they're going to do.
Prime Minister Rowley would have disagreed. He said, where did you ever get any information that there's anything called no man's land?
Keith Christopher Rowley is an insult.
You know, he got away again.
Is an insult to the people of Tobago.
You know, he's away.
Tobagonian people, I tell you all, you know, Tobagonian people letting the whole country down. Because Tobagonian people supposed to throw all of them out of Tobago today.
They should have.
Tobagonian people supposed to throw all of them out of Tobago today. Tobagonian people supposed to shut Tobago down today. Nothing must move. Tobagonian people need a government to come and sit down and say, listen, we are not a dictatorship. We have to ask you, do you like these plans? If you say no, we have to find another plan.
Well, at the end of the day, they have had very much money and all the other necessities to help Tobago become the gem between Trinidad.
That didn't go to the Tobagonian people. That is why the THA cannot account for 12 years now. Where's that $50 billion y'all get? Where is the money?
$50 billion for Tobago. If I had that kind of money,
you could have buy Tobago
on a consistent basis. Every year I get a $3 billion, a $2 billion, a $4 billion. And I have an infrastructure still being
Robert,
paid
the
for by the central
PNM
government.
through the Tobago House of Assembly
Ridiculous.
have systematically destroyed Tobago and enslaved the people. 65% of the people now depend on the THA for some sort of stipend because you've destroyed their ability to earn a living.
And
You've removed the independence of the people.
They're not gonna lose.
That is not, no, Kevin, I want to tell you this, Maslow's hierarchy of needs, no matter how much money they put in your pocket, no matter how much money they put in your pocket, they could cover with $100 million. At some point, your natural human spirit needs to optimize itself and maximize its full potential. Robert Amar doesn't need to do this radio show every morning. What drives Robert Amar to do this show is the need to feel like I'm using all of the skills and the benefits and advantages. You ever hear the saying, to whom much is given, much is expected?
Yeah.
The people of Tobago are not stupid people. I have known Tobagonians. Some of the most powerful people that you know are Tobagonians.
But hold on,
Robert, Tobagonians will walk around with 2 different side of slippers on their own land. And that's what I like about Tobagonians.
What I want to say to you that at present, the majority of the top posts in Trinidad is held by a Tobagonian.
There you go. But you see, I want to give Tobago credit for
It's
everything
plot,
except all your Mason Hall Jumbie.
Hey, France score, boy. France won.
Trying to get in there. How they get in there? 1-0 in favor of France over Peru.
On a free kick. It looked like it was a free kick. Wait, look at what's going on here.
The people of Tobago, Robert.
No, I think they have a bigger responsibility.
And you know who have the real responsibility now in Trinidad? Belmont and Barataria. Belmont and Barataria have an opportunity to show Trinidad and Tobago how to put the government to work. Because you see, if Belmont and Barataria vote the Progressive Empowerment Party candidates in with a landslide, like a man who get horn. When a man get horn, he's do 2 things. One of 2 things. He's either look to kill the woman on himself, or
Watch what you're saying.
no, because Rowley.
The horn could be both ways. The horn don't have to be PNM and UNC. PP could get a horn.
Robert, if it's one thing I get, boy, it's some butt in my life. No, you can't be this pretty and don't get butt. Are you serious? No. Any man that walking around there telling you he never get a butt, they lie.
Kevin said he never get butt.
That lie.
I get butt.
Kevin is play Air Supply, brother. Anybody who like Air Supply music get a butt.
I never play Air Supply. I'm sorry.
Barry Manilow and Ed Sheeran. That is men who take real butt.
20 minutes before 12 o'clock, that time check comes here with the kind courtesy of Rodney's. And when we are telling you about that, just remember, for just $100, anyone can get unlimited access to the biggest football event of 2018. Purchase your activation code through Via at any LLCB outlet. Download the B-Mobile Tego app, plug in your code, and watch your team in action on your phone or tablet. Visit bmobile.co.tt/Tego. That's bmobile.co.tt/Tego, Tego, for more information. Terms and conditions apply. The game is on with B-Mobile. B-Mobile, the mobile broadcaster. Well, let's come back to Belmont. I want to spend a little time on Belmont.
I want you to bring the candidate in.
No.
And you, but you see, come back to the whole debate. let them come and talk.
Well, that's the second step. We have a little time to put that in place. I am throwing it out to the two other candidates, the PNM and the UNC
The
candidates.
UNC slogan for Barataria is make Barataria great again.
That's
I ask people, I walk around Barataria on Labor Day, and the people were so receptive. People want me inside the house, bringing the candidates out. And I asked them, I say,
Hug the dog, kiss the cat.
hug the
pat
dog,
the
kiss the
baby.
cat, plant the baby.
Maybe not in that order.
And I asked a couple of people, I see a poster saying, make Barataria great again. One old lady, poor thing, she tiny and she feisty. She said, make it great again, but it was great. When was Barataria great? People don't understand where their representation over the years went. And the government and the opposition trying to come at them with nonsense, misdirection, deflection, foolishness, and taking it to the wrong angle. Because if the PNM and the UNC really want to win this election, apologize to the people. The PNM candidate saying the problem in Belmont is infrastructure and crime. If you know the problem is infrastructure and crime, and you have had control of the government of Trinidad and Tobago for 60% of its existence, you are the problem. And how could you be the solution to you being the problem?
It can't be. To all the Facebook and all the live people outside, I want to thank you. Sylvia Nelson, I agree with you. Respect for self is a problem. We understand that. We agree also that parents must be also in the lineup because we think that they carry a responsibility. And the one thing I don't agree with you about is that children these days are different worldwide. I think the children all over the world are the same. We may be living in different times, but I think that's more about the upbringing. If you had a good upbringing,
all we found is different ways. All we found is different ways to abdicate our responsibility to the children. Before there was TV, and we plopped the children down in front of the TV, and we let the TV raise them. Now we letting the iPad and the iPhone raise the children. We letting social media raise the children instead of parents going outside and running and skipping and jumping and flying kite and playing dolly house and everything that the kids want to do. But we're not doing that. Children want more than anything, and all the science tells you this. All children want from you is your time.
and you know the important
Is
thing
your
that-
time.
The important thing you were saying the other day, I don't understand how the government of the day, a modern day government, is not using best practices. We have already proven that, as you said, it is where is the European territory? Finland. That has already, and as I
Robert,
said, there's a young man that is going around talking about that. You know.
Yeah, but Robert, you can't bring it up and think that the government is incapable of understanding. You can't ascribe it to incompetence. You have to ascribe it to corruption. Trinidad is run by corrupt oligarchs who control two fake political parties who use the democracy and the government to their personal financial benefit. It is greed and avarice running this country. It is nothing else. If you bring the Finland model inside of here, the people who benefited from the $5 billion that we spend every year on the Ministry of Education, half of that money is printing books. And I asked you last week, why would you need to print a new history book? A history book from 1980, still applicable for everything that happened before 1980. History doesn't change.
No, it doesn't change. It doesn't change.
You could make a new book 1980 and beyond.
Well,
that is an addition.
Yeah, well, you know, the thing is that I have a real problem with the way they teach history, but that's another subject matter. I want to come back to the Belmont, what should I call it? The electoral district. I mean, as I told, I got some flack from social media because, you know, people were of the view that, I don't know whether Mark could go and support and say that the UNC can win. The reality is that history has shown, the statistics is there, that Belmont will not give the UNC, like Laventille East and West, will never give the UNC a chance.
But it mustn't come down to just PLM and UNC.
But
to those who give you flack, and you ought to tell them that this is a country that is desperately in need of plenty vibrant political organizations, not just three.
Oh, and that's the point. You see, what I was trying to explain to the people is that they have to have a sense of responsibility and understanding that the most important issue is to put the right
Correct.
person to do the job,
What is-
irrespective
what-
of the political
What is it?
affiliation.
What is the name of what underpins all government? Representation of the people.
Correct.
So you want a representative. What the people of Belmont deserve is a proper representative, and they don't have to care what color they're wearing.
It doesn't make a difference.
It doesn't make a difference. What you need to know is
Stop following symbols and
Stop following party.
representation.
Stop following bullshit.
Yeah.
Start following representation of the people.
Put aside political and ethnic pride and think your community
Vote for
first.
Felicia Holder. If she don't deliver, march and fire her. Treat it like that.
Yeah.
Do not become anybody's fan. I don't want, listen, Keith Rowley is my member of parliament. And I am going to meet, and I'm telling him now, I'm going to meet with the Carnage fish market people, and I'm going to meet with all of them, and I'm going to ask them if they think they get what they deserve.
No, they ain't gonna.
Because if,
All the guys are building.
Robert, come now, man.
There is nothing
They
there.
were supposed to create an ice plant. When you building a proper fish village,
Now,
fishing
what's
market,
ice?
you're supposed to have an ice
What's
plant.
ice?
Listen, you're supposed to create a processing facility for salting, for
Okay.
preserving,
Yeah, yeah.
for making the fish last. You treat these people like fools, and they need to
Yeah,
understand.
they came with the same thing, you know. Catch the fish. Bring it out the sea.
Fan fly.
Put it,
Fan fly. Whole day fan fly. There you walk.
and wrap it up in gazette paper.
Chop, 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 and go.
Wrap it up in
You
gazette
do not
paper.
want, because you see, an educated man and woman votes educated.
Yeah.
They vote with sense.
But you see, we have a problem.
You need
because
them. You need them.
We have
You need them.
illiterate people,
Yeah.
but they are not educated.
Robert,
There's a big difference.
common sense is more important than book sense.
Yes.
Voltaire said common sense is not so common.
Well, I mean,
the
Voltaire
progressive,
won, he improved
the
the
Progressive
point.
Empowerment Party, its job, its mission, all these meetings, this show, coming on the show with you, is to inform, educate, and empower. We don't desperately want public office, but what you and I, Kevin, what we should want is an informed electorate, and if an informed electorate not making stupid choices, an informed electorate saying, hey, hold this stunting and your balizing nonsense. Hold your risings and foolishness. What we're interested in is your policies. And I want to contrast and compare it with your track record. If you tell me now, Kamala, that if I put you in office now, that you will repeal the property tax, why didn't you do it in the 5 years you was there? If you take Bastio Pandey talking constitutional
So
reform,
that's a point, you know, you're making a very significant. That's what you call an election move again.
if Bastio Pandey
There's
talking,
something carrot and stick syndrome.
you talk Bastio Pandey all over the country talk about constitutional reform. You hold up his daughter now. Look, Michaela, she will do it for you. Why you didn't do it? You had 5 years. You had 7 years.
No, but in his case, you have to understand, constitutional reform is a little bit different for that. Don't make it that
Robert,
simple.
constitutional
It
reform in
requires-
Trinidad and Tobago,
it
he
requires
knows.
a 3/5.
Not at all.
Yes, it
No,
requires-
wait. Listen.
requires a 3/5.
Listen. The UNC under the People's Partnership had a 3/5. The NAR of which Bastio Pandey was a part had more than a 3/5.
No, the UNC didn't have a 3/5. They
The-
were shorter one.
The People's Partnership
Shorter
was
one.
29 what?
29-12.
What was that number? Work out that. Work out that for me, Kevin. Tell me that's 3/5 of 41, 29-12.
But you were
Because
doing mathematics.
you had the numbers, and I'm saying to you,
If
but
you are serious about that, we really have a whole lot.
Robert,
Because you
if-
cannot change the constitution.
if you vote a government in
I
the
mean to say there was on BS.
You see what they do yesterday with Donald Trump? I want to show you how real governments work. Barack Obama created this policy where, because in Mexico, they had come up with this idea, if we smuggle children across the border with us, they can't rough we up because we are children.
Yeah.
They are treated different. So Barack Obama realized that it was causing a problem in Mexico. They was getting away and getting in, and the word spread. They called, hey, tell so-and-so, get a child and cross the border. It had caused a rise in kidnapping. They were snatching children to run across the border. Border Control Police was finding corpses of children discarded, that they grab a child and make it drop the child and go back. So Barack Obama created the separation policy that if they catch you with a child, they're locking you up and they're taking the child and put the child in foster care because you put the child in danger. Yesterday, the 1% led by Soros and the left media, and I'm just saying this, try to make it about Trump. You know what Trump do? Trump signed an executive order. He said nobody separated children anymore. And it will cause a wave now. It will cause a wave of Mexicans coming into America with kidnapped children. But then he will put that on the people who say, you don't want it dealt with, partner? You fix that. And that's how government works. The people have to be involved past talk. When, not if, when there is gunplay in a school in Trinidad and Tobago, police need to go and lock up Anthony Garcia. Because Anthony Garcia, as Minister of Education, would be culpable and responsible. I wrote him an official letter. I copied it to the media, shared it on social media for every time there is a shooting. And he is not taking guidance.
Well, when the last one happened in Florida, when the young boy went in and killed the 17 or 19
it
people,
happens so often.
and the young woman from the school went to Washington, and they made a very strong statement saying, if you don't listen, we will replace you.
That's the way to talk. That's the way to talk. Because
that's what I think the people of Trinidad and Tobago don't understand, you know.
Exactly, because
that the power is in their hands to have a country that will be
Robert, we sell
what
this,
they want.
We sell this nonsense about voting people into power. You don't vote people into power. You vote them into office. Yeah. You have the power.
Yeah, you have the
Hold the power.
All right, people, it's 8 minutes before the magic hour of 12 o'clock. Remember, coming up at 12 is your major news with Ravita Ramaratan. She's going to be bringing you the 12 o'clock news. And that is going to be followed by, of course, none other than Nigel Snipes, who's going to be here this afternoon. What seems going to be a fairly wet afternoon. It's looking so. No rain is falling in Russia because the guys seem to be playing very well. I mean, the halftime score is 1-0 in favor of France. So it looks as if though there's another team heading home. Maybe Peru is going to be taking the plane. To all of you outside there, we want to thank you. There was a question put forward, Philip, and I don't think that the person is fair in his question. Todd Gray says he would like to ask Philip how many seats he can win in an election.
Tell Todd Gray the answer is, if we had a free and fair democratic process, if Keith Rowley met with me for a debate, if Todd Gray still supported him after, this is not about democracy. This is about fan club and racism. The reality is, if you want representation, vote a government that could undo and redo the nonsense that has passed our government in the past 56 years. Todd Gray is supposed to be asking that. Philip, what's your policy on securing the nation's border? How do we get everybody to have access to own a home? Jobs for all, affordable food, water in your pipes. How do we get to that? Somebody raised the point yesterday. Dubai has water 365 days a year, and Dubai is in a desert. So Todd Gray and every other version of him has to take responsibility for the failure of the country. If Todd end up in the general hospital with his tanty or his granny and they have nobody to take care of them, Todd Gray need to ask himself how he feel about that.
Here is the clip I wanted to play on Saturday in Belmont for you, the people, to hear. And I want the people of Trinidad and Tobago to hear this morning. Let's take it in.
My successor, Minister Catherine Rodriguez, she concluded it, but it was started under me. And in the years 2001 to 2004, I think it was, that assignment was part of my portfolio. So I am privileged to have an insight into what the country can and cannot do, and how big certain aspects of our economy can be or cannot be. So now that I'm Prime Minister, I can more confidently drive my ministers on some of the things that I know something about. When you have a Prime Minister who knows nothing about nothing, they will talk everything about everything and get nothing done. So I know that one of the areas that we can do something is in the tourism sector. And that is why early in the game, when I was opposition leader, I spoke to the owners of Sandals and asked them to look at Tobago and see if Tobago can attract a Sandals project, which would give us all the spin-off from that world-renowned, all-inclusive tourism product. People in the position asking me what process I use to procure them and whatever, and I'm answering them stupid questions. Point is, so having put the skeleton in good position, we turn elsewhere. You always hear about diversification. It's an annoying word because some people are still making $25 a week at the newspaper writing columns about diversification.
How long is that going for? 1 minute again.
Annoying. When you ask them, into what? We can't tell you. What would you do to diversify the economy, especially if you abandon the energy sector? They can't tell you. But on television, the radio, the newspaper, diversification. Well, let me tell you what our diversification is.
All right, people. That is Keith Christopher Rowley.
Give me 1 minute.
Take the minute.
Give me 1 minute.
Take the minute.
Because Dubai has the 11th largest economy in the world on shipping turnaround, not on oil and gas. Dubai's money was built on shipping, Singapore as well. Trinidad's a shipping hub in close proximity to Panama between Central South and North America. Because we're outside of the hurricane belt, billions of US dollars, billions. Shipping turnaround, people don't understand that ships are built and sent out to sea until they fall apart. They don't come home and pack up. Ships don't stop. They round and round and round and round the globe. They pass in Trinidad every first week in March and they're picking up what you have, but they ain't stopping because they expect it in China the first week in September and it doesn't stop. That's how shipping works. And they need companies now. They need countries where along the route they could stop and say, empty the oil, put new oil, empty the gas, put new gas, take out this crew, put in that crew. Most of those ships, massive ships, a crew of 20 run it. It's mostly computerized, GPS, and it could sail for life. That's how it works. Trinidad could be and could play at the level Dubai and Singapore play because there's still nobody yet in the Caribbean. We are the only island outside of the hurricane belt. Dovetail that. Outside the hurricane belt, why did we not capitalize on the marine and the yachting industries and build a marine university so we could have had downstream industries? You got into it, I believe, with the people who came here to build Akin. You did some work with them. And I know that this country could have cornered the market just for housing boats, pleasure craft, during the hurricane season. That's 6 months, Robert.
Good money.
Billions of US dollars, because after the hurricane passed through an island, the first thing that you see and weep about is all the damaged yachts, all the damaged sailboats, all the run ashore and mash up. Lloyd's of London will spend money to help us become, we're outside the hurricane belt. Let's still talk about outside the hurricane belt. He talking about tourism. You didn't need sandals to desecrate Tobago. You could have done 10 joint ventures with 10 Trinidadian businessmen, public-private sector joint ventures, and let them become representatives of all the cruise ships in the world. Each of you build your own marina. You set up the systems on the ground to take people off the ship. Cruise tourism is the fastest growing tourism in the world. We could put 1 million feet on the ground in Tobago in quick time because building a marina is not the same as building a sandals or a hotel. And that's just that. We could diversify into agriculture. They talk, they don't know. 1.5 billion US dollars a year comes from Mexico in avocado alone. Our avocado is 10 times better. We could have been in the avocado industry and you don't need to be weeding wrong avocado and watering with a hose. It grows itself and it bears for decades. We could have been the avocado, breadfruit, soursop, guava business. Them things hardy and they grow and they bear. One guava has 5 times the vitamin C of an orange. Trinidadians need to understand the level we're playing at. Trinidad and Tobago, there is a multitude of ways that we could diversify this economy and make our people wealthy, make this country one of the wealthiest nations in the world. Keith Christopher Rowley doesn't have the idea. And because he doesn't have the ideas, he assembles people less knowledgeable than him to clap and laugh like trained seals. The Progressive Empowerment Party thanks all of you. And this coming Saturday, we are in Barataria, 6th Street. From 4 p.m., come out in your numbers. The whole country is invited. Come and hear why we are the fastest growing political party in this country's history. Robert Amar is supposed to be there. Thank all of you. Thank you for this. Don't forget to get your tickets for the Curry Q next week, Saturday at Stanmore Avenue. Thank all of you. Trinidad and Tobago. Stay safe.
All right, people.